Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today, and I mean deep into the art of conversation. That thing we humans do sometimes well, sometimes not so well.
We've got a fantastic guide for this journey. It's Don Gabor's How to Start a Conversation and Make Friends. It's packed with tips, almost like a cheat sheet for those of us who feel a little awkward in social situations.
I definitely fall into that category sometimes, so a cheat sheet sounds good to me. Let's jump right in. The book starts with something I hadn't really thought about before.
You mean how our body language speaks volumes even before we say a word?
Exactly. It's like we're sending signals without even realizing it.
Right. And Gabor calls these nonverbal cues softeners. He even has a handy acronym to help us remember them. Soften.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Break it down for us. What does the S stand for?
S is for smile. A genuine, welcoming smile. It's like an invitation to connect.
Makes sense. A smile can be so disarming, but it can't be just any old grin, right?
You got it. It has to be authentic. Think about it. Who are you more likely to approach? Someone with a forced smile or someone who looks genuinely happy to see you?
Good point. Okay, so S for smile. What's next?
O is for open arms. No crossed arms creating a barrier. It's about showing you're open and approachable.
So no hiding behind that defensive wall. I'm seeing a pattern here.
You're catching on. F is forward lean. Now, don't go all in and invade their space. It's more about leaning in just slightly to show you're interested in listening.
Subtle but effective. What about T?
T might surprise you. It stands for touch, but we're talking appropriate touch, of course. Think a firm, friendly handshake.
Interesting. I've always been a bit awkward with handshakes. Is there a right way to do it?
Oh, absolutely. A good handshake should be firm, but not bone-crushing. And it should convey warmth. Maybe even practice with a friend to get it right.
Okay, I'll add that to my to-do list. We're up to E now, right? That's that one.
E is for eye contact. We all know it's important, but it's not about staring someone down. It's about that natural, engaging eye contact that makes people feel seen.
I've definitely been in conversations where I felt like the other person wasn't really there.
Yeah.
Their eyes were glazing over.
Exactly. And finally, N is for nod. Just a simple nod to encourage the speaker. It shows you're following along, keeping that conversational momentum going.
Okay, I'm loving this SOFN acronym. It's like a cheat sheet for nonverbal communication. But what about that first step, that initial approach? Sometimes just going up to a stranger is terrifying.
Oh, I hear you. Gabor addresses that fear head on. He says a lot of us wait for someone else to make the first move. We take a passive role. But his advice is to flip the script. Be the initiator. It shows confidence.
Easier said than done. Any tips for actually doing that? Like, how do you know who to approach?
He suggests looking for receptivity. Scan the room for people who are already exhibiting those softener behaviors we talked about. They're basically signaling they're open to connection.
It's like they're sending out those let's chat vibes. That definitely takes some of the pressure off. But what about after you break the ice? I'm a master of small talk, and not in a good way.
Gabor to the rescue again. He says to move beyond those surface-level questions, like enjoying the party, try something more open-ended. What brought you to this event? Something that invites more than a yes or no answer.
This is making me think of all those awkward networking events where I've stumbled through conversations about the weather. I need to step up my game.
It's all about practice and paying attention to those little nuggets of information people drop. Gabor calls them free information.
Free information. Tell me more about that.
It's those little things people reveal, sometimes without even realizing it, that can spark a more interesting conversation. Let's say someone mentions they just got back from a trip to Japan. Instead of just nodding and moving on, you could ask, what was the most surprising thing you encountered there?
Clever. You're turning that tiny bit of info into a whole conversation. Okay, I'm getting some great takeaways here, but I have one major confession. I am terrible with names.
Oh, don't worry, you're not alone. But Gore has a system for that too. It's the 5 seconds to success method. It's all about maximizing those first few seconds after you hear someone's name.
Okay, I am all ears. Lay it on me. I need this.
First, you have to really focus when you hear the name. No letting your mind wander. Then, immediately repeat it back to them.
So, like, nice to meet you, Sarah.
Exactly. It reinforces it in your memory. Then, try to visualize the name. Create a mental picture, however silly it might be, that connects the name to their face.
So if Sarah has bright blue eyes, maybe I picture her name written in sky blue.
Perfect. The more vivid the image, the better it sticks. And then, there's word association. Link the name to something you already know. Maybe Sarah reminds you of a Sarah you went to school with, so you picture them both wearing school uniforms.
Okay, I'm loving these tricks. So far we have focus, repeat, visualize, and associate. What's the final step?
Keep using their name throughout the conversation. It might feel a little forced at first, but it really helps solidify that name in your memory.
This is brilliant. No more awkward, I know your face, but moments.
Yeah.
So we've mastered our body language, initiated the conversation, asked engaging questions, and even remembered their name. We're on a roll.
hmm
But how do we keep that conversation flowing? Is there a secret formula to avoid those awkward silences?
Well, Gabor talks about identifying hot buttons. These are those topics that really light people up, their passions and interests.
Ah, finding those sparks that ignite a genuine connection. But how do you spot these hot buttons?
It's a mix of observation and skillful questioning. Pay attention to changes in their tone or energy level when they talk about certain things, and don't underestimate visual cues, clothes, accessories, even the books they carry.
So if they're wearing a shirt with their favorite band's logo, that's a pretty good sign.
You got it. And don't be afraid to ask those open-ended questions about what they're passionate about. A simple, what are you really into these days, can open up so many possibilities.
And I guess just as importantly, don't be afraid to share your own passions too, right?
Absolutely. Create that two-way exchange. Don't be afraid to geek out a little. You never know. You might just find someone who shares your enthusiasm. But sometimes it feels like you're speaking different languages. Have you ever felt that? Like you're just not clicking with the other person?
Oh, all the time. The conversation feels forced, like we're from different planets.
Well, Gabor actually has a framework for understanding these different conversational approaches. He calls them the chat types. It can really help you figure out why some conversations flow and others feel like a slog.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. Tell me more about these chat types.
Let's start with the candid type. They're direct, to the point, sometimes even a bit. Well, let's just say they enjoy a good debate.
Sounds intense.
They can be, especially if you're more laid back. Then there's the hangback type. They're more reserved, thoughtful. They might need a little encouragement to open up.
Yes, the quiet observers.
Then we have the accurate type. Think detail-oriented, logical. They love precision. You know, the person who needs every ingredient in your grandma's cookie recipe before they'll even try one.
That's hilarious and so true. So who's the last type?
Finally, we have the talkative type. Outgoing, energetic. They might dominate the conversation a bit.
Oh, I think I might fall into that category sometimes. But how does knowing about these chat types actually help us in conversations?
It helps you adapt your approach. If you know someone's communication style, you can avoid those misunderstandings and create a smoother flow.
So if I'm talking to a candid type, I should be more direct. But with a hangback type, maybe I need to be a little more patient and encouraging.
Exactly. It's like learning the steps to a conversational dance. Once you understand the other person's rhythm, you can move together more gracefully.
I'm loving these analogies. This is already so helpful, but it feels like we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah. Oh, we have. But that's the beauty of it. There's so much more to explore. It really does make you think about those everyday interactions in a whole new light. You know, one thing that really resonated with me in the book is how Gabor emphasizes that conversation isn't just about filling the silence.
Right. It's about really connecting with another human, sharing ideas.
Exactly. And sometimes, even with the best intentions, we hit roadblocks.
Oh, tell me about it. I've had so many conversations where I'm like, did they even hear a word I said?
Gabor breaks down some of the reasons that might happen. One is resistance to change. People can get so attached to their beliefs and habits. When you challenge those, well, you might encounter some pushback.
It's like trying to convince my parents that vinyl is cool again. They just don't get it.
Exactly. And then there's the whole issue of competing attention. We're constantly bombarded with distractions. Even if someone seems like they're listening, their mind might be miles away.
Oh, 100%. Guilty as charged. I've definitely been on both sides of that. Sometimes, though, I genuinely want to listen, but the person just keeps rambling on, and I totally lose the thread.
Gabor calls that wishful hearing. The listener is basically interpreting what you're saying based on what they want to hear, not what you're actually trying to communicate.
Oh, wow. That reminds me of this time I was telling a friend about a tough project at work, and she kept interrupting with all this advice about how I should just quit and travel the world. It was clear she wasn't hearing my actual frustrations.
Classic wishful hearing. And then, of course, there's the danger of assumptions. We assume others have the same knowledge or understanding as us, and that can lead to a whole lot of confusion.
Like, assuming everyone knows what I mean when I say I'm going to Target.
Right. Not everyone is a Target shopper. So how do we get around these pitfalls? Well, Gabor provides some strategies for what he calls opening channels for better communication.
Okay, I need all the help I can get. How do we get people to actually listen and engage?
He says it starts with being upfront about your purpose. Whether you're asking a question or sharing an opinion, be transparent about why you're engaging in the conversation.
So instead of just launching into a story, I might say, I had this wild experience today that I just have to tell someone about.
Yes, you set the stage, and it lets the other person know what to expect. He also emphasizes showing genuine interest. Asking thoughtful questions, really listening, and valuing their perspective goes a long way.
It's about making people feel heard. Even if you don't agree with everything they're saying, it seems like that's become even more important these days when everyone's just shouting their own opinions.
Absolutely. Creating space for respectful dialogue is huge. But even with the best communication strategies, we all have those little hangups that can trip us up.
Oh, for sure. I've definitely sabotaged my fair share of conversations. What are some of those common ones Gabor talks about?
He breaks them down into 5 categories. The first is the I'm right, you're wrong hangup. These folks approach every conversation like a debate they have to win, no matter what.
Oof. I know the type. It's exhausting.
Then there's the I can read a person like a book hangup. They jump to conclusions about others based on like first impressions or stereotypes.
So judging a book by its cover, literally.
Exactly. And they miss out on really getting to know someone.
What about the others?
Well, there's the it doesn't matter to me hang up. These are the chronic people pleasers. They're always agreeing, even when they secretly disagree.
Oh, I've been there. It's like you're afraid to rock the boat.
But Gabor points out that can lead to resentment, like you're being taken advantage of.
That makes sense. It's so important to assert your needs and opinions. What are the last two?
We've got the tell me something I don't know hang up. You know, the know-it-alls who always try to one-up you.
Oh, I know them. They have to have the last word, the most impressive story.
Right. And finally, the I'm boring hang up.
Ugh.
These are the folks who believe they have nothing interesting to offer. They just lack confidence in their own experiences.
I think we all feel that way sometimes. So how do we overcome these conversational hangups? Is there hope for us?
Of course, Gabor provides strategies for each one. For the I'm right, you're wrong type, he suggests focusing on listening and trying to understand the other person's perspective, even if you disagree.
So instead of trying to win, you're trying to build understanding.
Yes. And for the I can read a person like a book, folks, he encourages challenging those snap judgments and being open to seeing people beyond those initial impressions.
Give people a chance, basically.
Exactly. For the it doesn't matter to me type, he recommends practicing assertiveness. Learn to say no. Set boundaries.
So important. What about the know-it-alls?
He suggests they shift the focus away from trying to impress others and instead just be genuinely curious, ask questions, listen.
Share the conversational spotlight.
You got it. And for the I'm boring folks, he encourages them to challenge those negative self-perceptions. Everyone has interesting stories. We just have to believe in them.
Find the extraordinary in the ordinary. This is all so helpful. But what about ending a conversation gracefully? I've been in those situations where I just wanted to escape, but didn't know how to do it politely.
Oh, I feel you. Gabor suggests paying attention to the natural flow. Don't wait for it to fizzle out completely. Look for those subtle cues that it's time to wrap things up.
Okay, what are those cues?
You could summarize a key point. Or mention something you need to do. Even just express appreciation for the conversation, like, this has been so great, but I promised a friend I'd meet them soon.
It's like a graceful exit strategy.
And in those last moments, reinforce the connection. Mention something you enjoyed discussing or even suggest connecting again in the future.
So leave the door open for further interaction.
Yes. But what about those times when you need to make a quick getaway? Like you're trapped talking to someone who just won't stop, or maybe they're trying to sell you something you don't want.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah.
It feels so rude to just walk away.
Gabor says to be assertive, but respectful. Be direct and honest about needing to disengage.
It's been great talking, but I have to run.
Exactly. And if they keep pushing, he recommends the broken record technique. Calmly repeat your need to leave without getting into further discussion.
That's genius. It's like a conversational force field. But with all this talk about conversational skills, what's the end goal? Is it just to be a smooth talker?
It's so much deeper than that. As the title suggests, it's about making friends. Gabor sees conversation as the foundation for building meaningful relationships.
From casual chats to lifelong friendships.
He even has a chapter dedicated to turning those conversations into friendships that go beyond those initial interactions.
What are Gabor's secrets for making that happen?
He starts by defining what friendship really means. It's not just about having people to hang out with, it's about mutual trust, respect, shared experiences. It's about having people you can rely on who enrich your life.
The kind of friendships that make life richer and more meaningful.
Exactly, and finding those true friends can be a challenge, especially as we get older and life gets busier.
Oh, for sure. I feel that.
Well, Gabor offers strategies for cultivating friendships even amidst the chaos. One key element is shared interests.
Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Right. When you have things in common, it provides a natural foundation for connection.
So if you're into hiking, join a hiking group.
Exactly. Put yourself out there and then show genuine interest. Ask questions, really listen, and go beyond those surface-level exchanges.
Make people feel seen and heard.
And be a good listener yourself. Actively engage with what they're saying. Make them feel like their perspective matters.
It's about putting your own ego aside and really tuning into the other person. But it's not just about those first conversations, is it? Maintaining friendships takes effort.
Absolutely. Gabor emphasizes the importance of staying in touch. Nurture those friendships. Invite them for coffee, suggest an activity, even a quick text or call.
Those small gestures can make a big difference.
He also encourages being open to new experiences, especially things your friend is passionate about.
Even if it's something I'm not sure I'll like.
Exactly. It shows you're willing to step outside your comfort zone. And most importantly, be a good friend. Be there for them when they need support. Celebrate their successes. Be reliable and trustworthy.
It's like that quote, the only way to have a friend is to be one.
Perfect. Gabor reminds us that friendships, like any relationship, take work. There will be ups and downs, but the true test is how you navigate those challenges together.
It's about realizing that nobody's perfect.
Exactly. Forgiveness, communication, working through those bumps in the road. But we can't ignore the elephant in the room, technology. It's changed everything about how we communicate.
Oh yeah, for better or worse.
Well, Gabor tackles that head on. He has 2 whole chapters dedicated to phone etiquette and making friends online.
Let's start with phones. They're so essential these days, but they can also be a huge distraction. I'm totally guilty of checking my phone mid-conversation.
We all are. Gabor lays out 5 golden rules for using phones in a way that actually enhances our social interaction.
Okay, I need to hear these rules.
Rule number 1, present company comes first. When you're with someone, they deserve your undivided attention.
So, resist the urge to check your notifications or scroll through social media.
Exactly. Be present. Rule number 2, silence your phone during social events or meetings. That constant buzzing is so distracting.
Oh, the worst. I was at a movie recently and someone's phone went off right at a crucial moment. So frustrating.
Rule number 3 should go without saying, but sadly it needs to be said. No phones while driving.
It's just not worth the risk.
Rule number 4, be aware of your surroundings when you are using your phone. No loud conversations in quiet places. Be respectful of personal space.
Ugh, I hate it when people blast their music or have those super loud conversations on speakerphone. So inconsiderate.
And finally, rule number 5, speak at a normal volume. No need to shout. Phones are pretty good at picking up voices these days.
I love these rules. They're so simple, but so important. It's all about common courtesy, really.
And then, of course, there's the whole online world. It's created a whole new landscape for making friends.
It's amazing. You can connect with people from all over the world, but it can also be a little intimidating.
For sure. Gabor offers some guidance, starting with email etiquette.
Email. It's been around forever, but it's still so important. What are Gabor's tips for making sure our emails are, on point?
First rule, respond promptly. Just like you wouldn't ignore a phone call, acknowledge those emails in a timely manner. Even a quick note saying you'll get back to them later.
It shows you respect their time.
Rule number 2, never email anything you wouldn't want your mom, your boss, or, the entire internet to read.
Words to live by. It's so easy to forget that emails can be forwarded or end up in the wrong hands.
And avoid using all KPS. It's like shouting.
Oh yeah, I've been guilty of that one. But I've learned there are better ways to emphasize things. What else?
Keep it concise. People are busy. Get to the point and make sure your message is clear.
Ah, brevity. Always a struggle for me.
And proofread. Make sure it's well written. Correct spelling and grammar, proper punctuation, and avoid those overly casual abbreviations that can be confusing.
Presentation matters. Okay, so beyond email, What about those online spaces where people gather to chat?
Chat rooms.
Yeah, they can be a great way to connect with people who share your interests, but they also have their own etiquette rules.
Mhm.
What are Gabor's thoughts on that?
He says it's wise to lurk before jumping in.
Lurk. That sounds a little creepy.
It's not. It just means observing the dynamics of the chat room, get a sense of the tone, the topics, and the unwritten rules.
So, dip your toes in before you cannonball.
Exactly. He also reminds us that even though we're interacting through a screen, we're still talking to real people with real feelings.
It's so easy to forget that when you're online.
So be kind. No inflammatory comments, personal attacks, or rudeness, just like in person.
Treat others how you want to be treated.
Exactly. And avoid those heated online debates that can get so nasty. It's rarely productive.
Take a deep breath and step away from the keyboard.
Good advice. He also stresses honesty and transparency. Be yourself. Don't misrepresent yourself or spread false information.
Build a reputation for authenticity.
And as with any conversation, be respectful of others' opinions, even if you don't agree. Diversity of thought makes those online communities so interesting.
It's about creating a space for respectful dialogue. What about when you want to take that online connection offline? Meeting someone you've met online in person.
Ah, the online to offline transition. Gabor offers some great advice for navigating that safely and successfully.
Okay, tell me everything.
First, don't rush it. Take your time getting to know them online before meeting in person.
So really make sure you feel comfortable with them.
And when you do decide to meet, choose a public place, especially for those first few encounters.
Safety first.
Always. Let a friend or family member know where you're going and who you're meeting.
Good reminder. What else?
Be upfront about boundaries. Agree on a time and place. Let them know if you have any time constraints.
Respect everyone's time and make sure everyone feels comfortable.
We've talked a lot about different aspects of conversation, but there's one thing Gabor keeps coming back to, and that's the power of encouragement.
Oh, I love that. It's so easy to focus on the negative.
Gabor reminds us that a little encouragement can make such a difference.
Boost someone's confidence, brighten their day,
It's about recognizing that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own challenges.
and a kind word or a gesture of support can go a long way.
It's about creating a more positive world, one conversation at a time.
So let's all try to sprinkle a little more encouragement into our interactions, right?
I'm in. You know, on the topic of positivity, Gabor also talks about the importance of humor in conversation. A well-placed joke or witty remark can really lighten things up.
I'm all about a good laugh. It's like a social lubricant, right?
Yeah,
Eases those awkward moments.
totally. But he does caution against using humor at someone else's expense.
Right. You don't want to be the person who makes everyone else feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance, being playful and lighthearted without being hurtful.
So maybe avoid those sarcastic digs or self-deprecating jokes that could make the other person feel awkward.
Exactly. And what about dealing with those, you know?
Yeah.
Those people who just love to throw out put-downs. We've all encountered them.
Yes. The conversational energy vampires.
He suggests maintaining your sense of humor and not taking it personally.
So deflect it with a witty comeback or just brush it off?
Exactly. Remember, a lot of times those put-downs are more about the other person's insecurities than anything else.
Oh, that's a good point.
And if someone is constantly negative, well, you don't have to subject yourself to that. It's okay to disengage.
Sometimes you just got to walk away.
Absolutely. Protect your own energy. And speaking of protecting yourself, Gabor also talks about the importance of being assertive, especially when it comes to setting boundaries.
This is something I struggle with. I'm such a people pleaser. How do you even become more assertive?
Well, Gabor says it doesn't have to be aggressive. It's about communicating your needs clearly and respectfully.
So finding that middle ground between honoring yourself and being considerate of others.
You got it. He offers some really practical tips. First, be direct about what you want. No beating around the bush.
So instead of saying, I'm kind of busy this weekend, be specific, like, I have plans Saturday, but I'm free Sunday afternoon.
Exactly. Leave no room for misinterpretation. He also suggests using I statements. You know, I feel uncomfortable when, instead of you should or you shouldn't.
Taking ownership of your feelings.
Yes. And pay attention to your body language, eye contact, a confident tone of voice. All of that matters.
Projecting that confidence, even if you don't quite feel it yet.
Exactly. And remember, it's okay to say no. You have the right to decline requests and prioritize your own well-being.
I need that reminder sometimes. Saying no can be so hard.
He even suggests practicing saying no in the mirror. It might feel silly, but it can help you feel more comfortable when those real-life situations come up.
I love that. And you know what? It ties in perfectly with Gabor's final piece of advice, which is just so simple yet so powerful.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. Be yourself.
Exactly. Embrace your quirks, your interests, your personality.
People are drawn to authenticity.
So ditch the act. Just be you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. When you're true to yourself, you're more likely to connect with people who genuinely appreciate you for who you are.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Building those real connections. Don Gabor's How to Start a Conversation and Make Friends is such a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to navigate the social world with more confidence and authenticity.
I agree. It's a must-read.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the art of conversation. We hope you found these insights helpful.
And maybe even a little inspiring.
We'll catch you next time for another deep dive into a new and fascinating topic.